Greenwashing or green hushing? That's probably one of the dilemmas that many companies in the food business have nowadays. And it's a tricky one, let's face it. Of course, when everybody is talking about protecting the environment, it's very tempting for all businesses, small or big, to try to show that they also want to do something about it, because they also want to make sure that they're not going to lose customers. They want to attract maybe even new customers. So they are really very focused on explaining and showing all the things they do that can have a positive effect. And then, of course, like everything you do, there is always something somewhere that's missing, and somebody is going to spot that and is going to say, yeah, but it's not the truth, it's, those claims are not correct, they're not right. And sometimes, it's very possible. One of the things that I've mentioned many times about sustainability is that we never really talk about externalities, and it's very easy to forget the externalities, which are the long-term either benefits or side effects of what we do today. And it's very easy to forget that. And of course, on the other hand, it's very easy to pinpoint those externalities, to say, hey, but you haven't looked at the externalities. So of course, a lot of businesses were very adamant to try to show that they do something positive for the environment, and then of course they get under attack for not telling the whole story, or at least there are some serious pieces of the puzzle missing. And then we reach a point where, of course, there is a big suspicion about every statement that has to do with a positive impact on the environment. So what we see then is companies who decide not to talk anymore about what they do, who don't talk about their impact on the environment, which in return, okay, again is considered a bad thing, because, well, before you were talking a little too much, now you're not talking enough, and there are always people who are never satisfied, so of course it's very difficult. But the key is, and in my opinion, with any business, and in particular in the food industry, we have to be candid. We must not try to overstate all the great things we do. And I understand, it's, when you work in a company, if you don't believe in it, then you better leave. So if you stay, yeah, of course you believe in what the company is doing. And everybody that I know, maybe they make exaggerated statements, but they mean well, and they really believe in what they say. Okay, if it's not true, then let's hear what the people have to say about why it's not true, and then work on that. I think that's where the dialogue is essential, and unfortunately the dialogue has been disappearing more and more. But greenwashing, if it's deliberate, if you lie and you know that you're not doing what you claim you're doing, then of course it's a lie, and that has to be exposed, period. If you are in good faith, but you forgot, for instance, externalities, or there are certain things you have not realized of the changes you have made that also have some potential negative effect, then you have to listen to criticism, but the criticism has to be also constructive to help you do it better. That's where we need to go, and that's where I think being candid is essential. Hushing, that's not good, because then there is nothing worse to kill trust than not wanting to say anything. People are wondering, what are they trying to hide? And that's a very normal reaction. So green hushing is bad, greenwashing is bad, but what we need to do, maybe it's green candying, being green candid. That I think is more important. Say what we're doing, say what we think we have achieved, say that the targets are still ahead. I think there would be nothing worse than claiming that you're sustainable. And I see a lot of businesses who claim that they're sustainable, while frankly, no, if you really open your eyes, no, it's not sustainable. So just say what you want to achieve, but I think the industry also needs to talk about the challenges that they face. Why is it difficult to get where they want to be? What are the problems they're facing? What kind of help do they need? Maybe also from their opponents. The opponents have a tendency to, well, say no and oppose everything, but never really bring workable solutions. Well, I think the opponents also need to bring their contribution to solutions, and not just bringing up the problems. Because, let's face it, we all know the problems, the solutions are more difficult, so it's a work. But We don't have to try to be all great or all bad. No, just let's say what we're doing. Let's explain our progress and if we're ahead of the curve or if we're behind the curve and why. I think it's very important to just explain, and the industry does not do enough explaining.
If you're interested in my videos, please click on the subscribe button, or you can also visit my website.